Good evening, everybody, and welcome to CVCA Royals football on CVCA Livestream. My name is Tim Nichols, and as always, we're glad to have you along with us for the broadcast tonight. It's playoff time in Northeast Ohio, and after a bye week a week ago, the Royals are ready to get the postseason underway. CVCA is at home tonight by virtue of earning the number 2 seed in Region 9 of Division 3, an accomplishment made possible by running the table on the regular season schedule. The Royals are 9-0 after finishing off the first ever undefeated season in school history en route to the North Coast Conference Championship. But it's a whole new season. Wipe out that regular season record. Playoff time is all about win or go home. And to do so tonight, CVCA will have to play one of its best games of the year, and that's because the opponent, the Geneva Eagles, brings a flashy 9-2 record of their own into the contest. The Eagles are the 10 seed tonight, but don't tell them that. They are just 2 plays away from a perfect season themselves, and they're coming off a 47-12 demolition of 7th-seeded Alliance on the road a week ago. It's OHSAA playoff football tonight on CVCA Livestream. Let's take a look at how each of these teams got here tonight. First, for the Royals. In their first year in the North Coast Conference, CVCA's senior-laden squad ran roughshod over the competition in 2025. The Royals opened the season with an unusual bye week, but once the referees put the ball down in week 2, the Royals got started scoring, and they did not look back. CVCA put a running clock on 8 of the 9 teams that they played this year en route to that 9-0 regular season record. Week 5 matchup was supposed to be a test traveling to Division II Boardman. The Royals barely blinked, though, in a 42-10 dominating performance against Boardman. The midseason 3-game road swing took them to Lake Catholic, where CVCA notched the school's first ever victory in 3 tries against the Cougars. It was the closest game of the year and perhaps the sloppiest, as the Royals turned it over 3 times, but when it came to winning time, CVCA ran out the clock on a 6-minute drive in the final quarter, never allowing Lake Catholic a chance to possess the ball with a chance to tie. A win at Holy Name led to a showdown with 1-loss NDCL, and it was over early. The Royals built a 35-0 halftime lead, and they cruised through the rest of the game and the rest of the season. Once Week 9 senior night came around and was in the books, the Royals' defense was on record, having allowed just 73 points all season, and most of those against the reserves in second halves of games. The defense should be tested tonight, though. That's because Geneva knows how to score. In fact, the Eagles put up 507 points this season, more than 46 points per game, just shredding opposing defenses. Let's take a look at the Geneva path to Week 12. The Eagles opened up the season with a pedestrian, by their standards, 28-18 win over West G. But the offense really got clicking in Week 2. A 56-21 blasting of Howland, and they followed that up with a 63-0 shutout at Normandy. But the Eagles hit a bump in the road on Weeks 4 and Weeks 5. The Eagles lost a shootout in the CVCA crossover game at Hawken. In a game where they had a 12-point fourth quarter lead, the game slipped away when they allowed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in the final 10 seconds of the game. The following week, 2 costly turnovers were the difference, as the Eagles lost 35-28 in a heartbreaker to Perry. But they righted the ship in CVC Lake Division play, winning 5 straight over divisional opponents to finish 8-2 in the regular season, which set up last week's big win at Alliance, which earned the Eagles their trip here tonight to Royals Stadium. If you like old school ground and pound football, well, you've tuned into the right game tonight. These 2 teams are mirror images of each other. CVCA runs the ball 87% of the time. For the Eagles, they run it 92% of the time, and they both do it out of the wing T base offense. For the Royals, CVCA is a team that has won 19 of their last 20 games, dating back to the Week 3 of the 2024 season. Let's take a look at those running backs for CVCA and the stable of backs in the backfield. Any discussion about CVCA starts with senior Joey Kopech. He's one of the stable of running backs, and the Royals pound the ball with Kopech and a bunch of others. But Kopech is committed to Rutgers, and he's option 1 for the Royals. And there's Kopech right there. Spitting image of Joey Kopech is his younger brother Tommy, a carbon copy, 50 carries, 439 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He also received all North Coast Conference honors on the defensive side of the ball this season. Then there's 2 all-conference offensive honorees, senior Wesley Keeler with 582 yards and 6 touchdowns, and junior Zach Anderson, 357 yards on the ground with 3 scores and 2 more touchdowns as a receiver. And that brings us to quarterback Charlie Levac. He was named the Offensive Player of the Year for the North Coast Conference yesterday. The running numbers for Levac aren't as lofty as they've been in recent years, but they haven't had to be. Levac has the ability to scramble and make highlight reel plays when nothing is working. You just shake your head and say, how did he do that? While the Royals' offense is run first and run often, Levac completed 40 of 56 passes this season for 698 yards and a school single-season record, 16 touchdown passes. Just when a defense pins their ears back to stop the run, Levac can zip a spiral downfield to his favorite receiver, Braden Harris. 7 of the 11 Harris receptions on the year have gone for 6. And speaking of 6 different Royals receivers have caught touchdown passes this season, so the Levac to Harris connection is not a simple one-trick pony. The Royals offense will present a challenge to Geneva tonight. The Eagles put up gaudy numbers this year, but they did lose in those shootouts to Hawken and to Perry. But those games are in the distant past. The recent past, well, last week at Alliance. Looking back at that win, it brings to mind the famous Charles Dickens opening line from A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times. The 47-12 win in the playoffs on the road against the higher-seeded Aviators was the best of times. Eagles offensive coordinator Matt Pete reflected in a social media post that it might have been the biggest win in school history for these Geneva Eagles. Sure, the Eagles had won a handful of playoff games before. They've won 1 playoff game in each of the last 3 seasons, but never such a one-sided, all-around dominating performance on the road against a higher seed like last week. But it was also the worst of times. Early in the second quarter, senior running back and linebacker Ricky DePetta left the game with an apparent Achilles injury. DePetta had 4 of his 6 touchdown runs this season in that shootout with Hawken earlier this year. But then, just minutes later, senior Bryce Pete, arguably the best football player in Geneva Eagles football history, came up lame with a hamstring injury. Let's take a look at the impact of Bryce Pete for Geneva this season. Just this year, 1,868 yards rushing. That's not a misprint. 20 touchdowns. A mind-boggling 11.7 yards per carry average. Think about that. 12 yards a carry. The team's leading receiver, albeit with just 70 yards, given the Eagles' limited passing game, and the school's all-time leading rusher with 4,278 yards and 57 career touchdowns. Both Pete and DePetta are listed as questionable tonight. No doubt both will do all they can to give it a try, but there's no sugarcoating the loss if they can't play. That's 56% of the offensive production for Geneva, potentially sidelined, and worse yet, Pete and DePetta are 2 of the 3 starting linebackers in the Eagles' 4-3 defensive front, and both of them have a team-leading 95 tackles this season. The news is not good for Geneva, but they still have one more offensive weapon, and his name is senior Caden Proy. At 6'1", 195 pounds, the quarterback with 4.6 speed, Proy simply put the Eagles on his back last week at Alliance. Proy is a dynamic player that can score from anywhere on the field. Last week, he turned in a 4-touchdown, 295-yard performance against Alliance that included touchdown runs of 66, 1, 46, and 67 yards. The Eagles were on their way when DePetta and Pete went down, but Proy put the team on his back and willed them to victory, and he's been doing it all season. 1,325 yards rushing and a team record 27 rushing touchdowns. But don't look for the senior to air it out. He only has 3 passes a game on average. The formula is really simple. For the Eagles to have any chance tonight, Proy has to be Superman again. And the task at hand for the CVCA defense, it's simple. Stop number 1. Tonight's game marks the 8th straight season that CVCA has qualified for the playoffs. It'll be CVCA's 14th appearance overall in the 30-year history of the program. The Royals are 5-13 overall in the postseason, but 2 of those 5 wins came a year ago when CVCA reached the regional semifinal for just the 2nd time in school history. On the other sideline, this will be the 6th trip to the playoffs for Geneva. The initial trip was way back in 1989. After that, it was a 31-year break between playoff games. Geneva participated in the 2020 playoffs when the OHSAA allowed all teams to play during the odd COVID season. But the Eagles have qualified for the playoffs each of the last 4 seasons, including this one, winning an opening round game each year, but never advancing beyond the regional quarterfinals. The weather has been a story today here at Royal Stadium. It rained cats and dogs between about 10 o'clock this morning and about 2:30 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. But the field is dry, the air is cleared, and it's a perfect night for football here in Cuyahoga Falls on the east side of Cuyahoga Lake Road. Game time temperature should be about 55 degrees with diminishing winds out of the west-southwest, currently topping out about 9 miles per hour. Still a chance for a pop-up shower, but that looks like that chance is diminished since the forecast was initiated, and we look good tonight. It's about as good as it's been all day. A great night for football here in Northeast Ohio. Royals record book, we look at that each week. Senior Joey Kopech is in 5th place all-time with 3,457 yards rushing at this point in his CVCA career. Next up on the all-time list is Royals quarterback Michael Bevington, who quarterbacked at CVCA from 2018 through 2020. Bevington ended his career with 3,580 rushing yards. Kopech needs just 124 yards tonight to move into 4th place all-time. Kopech is 5th in career touchdowns, and we'll get to more of this after tonight's opening prayer and the national anthem. We'll turn it over now to public address announcer L.T. Newland.
Father in heaven, we pause just for a moment to say thank you, for you have provided every good thing that we enjoy. Thank you for the game of football, for the gift of community that we get to rally around as 2 different schools this evening, a fun game that you have given to us. God, we are most grateful for what Jesus has done on our behalf. Thank you that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. What an incredible invitation you've given to us to come and find rest, to find forgiveness, to find purpose in life. We thank you for your Son. It's for him that we play. It's his name that we pray. Amen.
A nice round of applause tonight for the CVCA Royals Marching Band, who've just performed their rendition of the national anthem. Getting ready for football on a Friday night, and we can see the Royals getting ready to enter the stadium from the east side end zone. CVCA undefeated, looking to put that undefeated on record on the table tonight and defend it here against the Geneva Eagles. We were mentioning the record book for the Royals and Joey Kopech's exploits, the senior who's committed to Rutgers University. 5th in career touchdowns, 6th in career rushing touchdowns, 8th in career receiving touchdowns, 5th in career receptions, 8 career interceptions is one off the school all-time record. Special teams, 3rd in career average kickoff returns, took 2 to the house a year ago. Teams are kicking away from him this year, no surprise. Kicker Luke McQuillan is closing in on the single-season record for PATs. He's got 47 so far this year. The record, 53. It's within reach if the Royals have a really outstanding night tonight. The record is currently held by Bryce Keitlinger, who graduated in 2021. Senior Charlie Levac needs just 2 touchdown passes to become the school's all-time leader in career touchdown passes. His 34 is just 1 behind Michael Bevington's 35. During Week 10, Levac set the single-season touchdown passing record with his 16th passing score of the year in the game against Elyria Catholic. Levac's 7th all-time in career rushing touchdowns on the ground side of the ball, with 26, 4th in career passing yards, needing just 85 tonight to move into 3rd place, all-time passing Antonio Caroscia. This is the first ever meeting between CVCA and Geneva on the gridiron. The Royals are 1-1 all-time against teams from the Chagrin Valley Conference Lakeside Division. The Royals defeated Edgewood in a first-round playoff game here in 2020 by a score of 55-21. And the Royals lost to Jefferson area 46-7 way back in 1997. It was the first year of varsity football competition for CVCA. Geneva, they're coached by Don Shimsky. Shimsky, a class of 2000 alum of the Eagles, is in his 4th year as the head coach at Geneva, but this is his 20th season on staff at his alma mater. Took over for Chip Sorber in 2022 after serving the previous 9 seasons as the Eagles' defensive coordinator. 37-10 in 4 seasons, including a 4-3 mark in the playoffs. CVCA's head coach is Nick Cook. He's in his 5th season here in Cuyahoga Falls on the Royals sideline. 39-16 with the Royals, but winner of 19 out of his last 20 leading the Royals football program. Overall, Cook sports a career record of 68-49. He came to CVCA in 2021 after rebuilding the Chicago Christian High School program in Illinois. Cook founded and coached 1 season early in his career at Grove City Christian in Franklin County here in Ohio. Before we get started tonight, a reminder to you to follow us on social media. Thank you for being with us tonight on our CVCA Livestream YouTube channel. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X by looking for the handle at CVCA Livestream. And if you are watching us on YouTube, which obviously you are, make sure you subscribe to the CVCA Livestream YouTube channel before you turn away tonight. The Geneva Eagles enter the stadium. Geneva making their first appearance here at CVCA, as we just said a moment ago, looking to advance past the quarterfinals for the first time in school history. Geneva making their 6th appearance in the OHSAA football playoffs in program history. The injury report tonight, well, we've talked about the Eagles and Bryce Pete and Ricky DePetta, both listed as questionable. We'll see if they are able to go tonight or not. And here come the Royals. Defending home turf, CVCA enters the stadium to start the playoffs. For the Royals, the injury report is short. Starting right tackle senior Gabe Kautzman will miss his 3rd straight game with an upper body injury. Kautzman is expected back before the season ends if the Royals' playoff run is an extended one, but that will be determined by what happens in the next 48 minutes on the clock tonight. About 1:20 left on the game clock, but we're ready for football on a Friday night here in Northeast Ohio. We're glad you're with us. We see the numbers online. We expect a record audience here tonight. Referees out on the logo. Tonight's referees here at Royal Stadium. The referee, Brian Bednarczyk. The umpire is Greg Shimmick. Head linesman is Dominic Bercarelli. Line judge is Aaron Neal. The back judge is Mike Hampshire. And the center judge is Nick Pierce. Those are the gentlemen who wear the stripes and adjudicate tonight's contest. This is Tim Nichols, along with the CVCA Livestream crew. We are ready for football on a Friday night, and the Royals are going to receive. Geneva will kick off tonight here to start the contest. The kicker for Geneva, number 9, Zachary McKinney, sophomore, 6'1", 175 pounds. He'll tee it up on the 40-yard line. The Eagles visiting tonight. Their white tops, gray bottoms. The Geneva Royal red numerals. Gray helmets with the Geneva logo on the side of the helmets. The Royals all black tonight here. Black bottoms, black tops, royal blue numerals ensconced in white. Black helmets with the CVCA Blue Lion logo on the side. Back deep for CVCA, Joey Kopech and Zach Anderson. And McKinney gets the ball from the referee, and we are just about ready to go. Kopech on the near side as you watch the video. Anderson on the far side. Whistle blows, and we are underway from Royal Stadium playoff football week number 12. It's going to be Anderson who will get it. Across the 20, 25-30, good return out across the 35-yard line. I said Anderson, it was Kopech. They switched places, and Joey Kopech with his first touch of the night brings the ball out to the 36-yard line. That's where CVCA will set up first down and 10 tonight, and here's the replay as you watch it again. Kopech took the ball at his own 8, had some good blocking in front of him, and returned the ball out to the 37 officially, 29 yards on that return. Charlie Levac leads the Royals out under center, the senior, third year starting quarterback for CVCA. The Royals will start out in the wing tee. You'll hear that a lot tonight. 3 backs in the backfield. Handoff goes across the left side, and crawling across the 40-yard line is CVCA's Joey Kopech. He'll pick up 3 yards. Actually, they'll mark it back to the 39-yard line, so just 2 yards officially on that. Second down and 8. We mentioned the Royals run it 87% of the time. Geneva even more, 92%. Split out far is Braden Harris. 2 backs in the backfield this time for CVCA. They'll run it right side, up the middle, a good run, and a big run across the 50. Kopech across the 40, still going 30, 25, cuts to his near side, and Joey Kopech is going to go toward the end zone. Will he get in? Yes, he will. Touchdown, CVCA. Two plays, and the Royals are in the end zone just 53 seconds into this contest. CVCA explodes with a 61-yard touchdown run by Joey Kopech. 6-0 Royals, and Luke McQuillan out to try and boot the ball through the uprights for the 7th point of the evening. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it splits the uprights. 53 seconds in, and the Royals have a 7-0 lead. Joey Kopech's 11th rushing touchdown of the season. And here it is again, Kopech right through the middle, and the Royals offensive line pancaking blockers, and then Kopech got downfield and just navigated his way past the secondary. The only person who had a chance to stop that touchdown was number 1, Caden Proy, but not till the 1-yard line. Kopech too strong, and he's into the end zone. 61 yards for the senior from CVCA, and the Royals with an exclamation point to start this game. CVCA has outscored their competition in the regular season in the first half by a whopping 280 points to 30. The Royals start strong, they start fast, and they do again tonight. So McQuillan will kick off going right to left, and it is Proy back there to receive. And on the far sideline, number 12 for Geneva, that is Owen Davis. The Royals feign that onside kick. They have been doing that for years. Just make sure the other team is not going to get caught off guard, and occasionally they will kick it. But the Eagles scout it, and McQuillan will pooch it. And is fumbled on the ground and covered right there on the 32-yard line by one of the upbacks. A little bit of a scary situation for the Eagles right there. It was Gavin Queen who tried to field that ball. Bugaboos for Geneva this season has been putting the ball on the turf. They've put it on the turf 20 times. That's 21 this season. They've lost 10 fumbles. And now the offense comes out, and we'll see who is in the backfield tonight for this Geneva Eagles team. And we do not see number 5, which means Bryce Pete not available tonight for Geneva. They'll run it on the first play off the left side. A little bit of a push, couple of yards. Owen Davis gets the carry for Geneva. 2 yards. And we mentioned Pete not able to go. Davis just 62 carries coming in. still 537 yards. He's been option number 4 for this team, but they start out with him. Spread formation. Proy in the backfield. He is the main option, but doesn't go very far right there. Proy runs it up the middle and gets nothing. We mentioned in the pregame, 1,365 yards this season for Caden Proy. 121 carries, that's his 122nd carry. He picks up 1. It's 3rd down and 7 for the Eagles. Down 7-0. Joey Kopech answered the bell on the second play of the game. If you tuned in late, with a 61-yard run off the right side. Proy in the backfield, shotgun formation. 3 receivers in this formation. He doesn't throw it often, but he's going to look to throw it here. It's high and intercepted by CVCA. The Royals with a return. It's Braden Harris, his 5th of the year. He's down inside the 20, still going. Touchdown to the house for CVCA. Braden Harris, his 5th pickoff interception of the year, and the first one that goes to the crib. Touchdown Royals, it's 13-0. A perfect start for the Royals here at Royal Stadium tonight. Their stars doing it on offense. Kopech, a 61-yard touchdown, and there Braden Harris takes the tip ball and returns it to the house. McQuillan back out to kick another extra point. Ball's down, the kick is up, and it is through the uprights, and good. That is not the forte of these Geneva Eagles. Proy, 14 of 35 on the entire season as you watch it again. 2 interceptions, well here's 3rd, and it's a costly one. Harris, a 49-yard return off the interception right down the right sideline. Got good blocking and got to the end zone. The Royals are up 2 scores early. Geneva with a big win last week, but they had the 73rd hardest schedule in Division III. The Royals, by contrast, had the 29th hardest schedule in Division III. The difficult games in the season, the Eagles came up short during the year against Hawken and against Perry, albeit close games. They do not and are not built to come back from behind. They're in a big hole to start out here. 14-0, just 2 minutes and 25 seconds into this contest. And we'll see what they have to try and work on the second series. We mentioned Bryce Pete not out there on the first series. Looks like he's unable to go tonight. Ricky DePetta is the other running back that was injured last week. And it was feared that those 2 injuries, a hamstring for Pete and an Achilles injury, but as it was reported for DePetta, might be season-ending. It is going to be on the back of Caden Proy, and that first drive did not go as intended. Here's another pooch kick, and this one is fielded again by Owen Davis, number 23, gets across the 30 and dives to the 37-yard line. That is a strategy by the CVCA kicking team. Kicking it short like that, getting the coverage downfield. They trust in that defense that gave up just 73 points all season. Many of those points given up by the JV, who played a lot in the second half, as we mentioned, 280 to 30. The Royals outscoring their opponents through the 9 regular season games that they played so far this season. So the Royals defense back out there once again. And Proy will be under center. This time in the backfield, it's Brody Ham. And it's a handoff. Actually, it was not Proy under center. It's the backup quarterback, Nate Hutchins. And they move Caden Proy into the halfback spot. Kind of hide him and get him in the ball in different formations. So Proy gets 3 yards on that play. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for these Geneva Eagles after this play. Three options in the backfield this time. Hutchins will hand off. This is going to be a run to Owen Davis. He's strung out on the far side. Not much there. Perhaps a gain of 1. It's going to be third down and long again. Take a look at those starters for Geneva. Proy, the quarterback. Brody Ham in the backfield. Dubsky, Davis, Palmisano, and Salgado. Up front, Evangelista, Brenneman, Cinco, Stark, and Jacob Clemens. The offensive line that produced 4,513 yards rushing for this Eagles team tonight. Third down and 5 right here. And the Eagles, they need a first down here. They're going to roll out and try and pass once again. Proy lofts it. It's complete, and it will be close to the first down. I'm not sure they got it. It's still going there. Finally taken down. It's going to depend on the spot. The catch made by Brody Ham. And the sticks are moving, so the first down, the first of the night for the Eagles. Nick Schober was in there on the tackle for the Royals. They spot the ball on the 48-yard line, first down and 10, near midfield for the Eagles. Gavin Queen comes in, brings the play call into the other 10 Eagles. Out of the shotgun formation this time. Roy fakes the handoff, dives right up the middle, gets across the midfield stripe into Royals territory. He'll pick up 3. It'll be second down and 7. Royals defense has a score already, but we'll take a look at the starters here. Dirk Geiger, Mason Fry, and Paul Tepley up front in a 3-4 offensive formation for the Royals. The linebackers, Joey Kopech and his brother Tommy on the outside, flanking Wesley Keeler and Reed Jones. And then in the secondary, Braden Harris, who had the pick 6, Nick Schober, Nathan Cook, and Zach Anderson. Second down and 7 from the Royals' 49-yard line. Geneva absolutely needing a drive here. Proy's going to go student body left, trying to get the corner, but he's not going to get it. Strung out for a big loss. Taken down back around the 47-yard line of the Eagles. He'll lose. He'll lose 5 yards. It's going to be third down and 12. So once again, third and long for the Eagles. That was not a misquote before when I mentioned the stats. 14 of 35 passing for Caden Proy on the entire season. He's already put it in the air twice. Once it went to the house back for the Royals. Third and 12 out of the shotgun. He'll drop back and look to throw. Big rush, flush to his left, lost it downfield, got a man out there, but it is picked off by the Royals again. Intercepted by Harris, playing center field, down the sideline he goes. Harris still going, and he's finally taken down on the 31-yard line. Braden Harris, he had 4 interceptions coming into the evening, make it 6 on the season, 2 on the night. Harris picked it off at the 21-yard line, and now the whistles blow as you watch the replay. As that's happening, we look out on the field, and they're just looking for a new football, getting the Royals offensive football in there. So, official timeout. As they set the chains up. And both teams going to their sidelines, so we're not quite sure what the reasoning is for the stoppage right here. But we can tell you that Braden Harris has 2 interceptions, and only one player in CVCA history has 3 interceptions in a game. And the stoppage was for an injured Geneva Eagle, and it was number 18, Cooper Dubsky. The Eagles not very deep. Dubsky, defensive back, and one of the remaining healthy running backs for this Geneva Eagles program, slowly making his way off the field. And apologies to those who are watching. That happened well behind the play. Just simply did not see it to that far side. So Dubsky making his way to the sideline. Meanwhile, the Royals set up with great field position. First down and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Check it out. It's on the 30. That's where they'll spot it. And a quick pitch and a run gets the Royals across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 2 yards. 2nd and 8.
The carry for the Royals is number 6, Wesley Keelan.
Two-yard gain in that play, so 2nd and 8 for CVCA. Last carry by Zach Anderson. That's a first down CVCA dead ball, personal foul against both teams. They're going to offset.
2 fouls on the play, personal foul against the Eagles and personal foul against the Royals.
So the play stands. It's a first down for the Royals, spotted down on the 15-yard line. Pickup of 14 yards in that play for Anderson. Check that, they'll mark it back to the 16. So officially 13 yards on the carry. The Royals in the red zone. It's their first play in the red zone tonight, but they've already got 14 points. Handoff left side, inside the 10-yard line and taken down near the 5-yard line.
On the carry for the Royals, that's number 8, Zach Anderson. That's
3 straight to Zach Anderson.
First down.
And there was not a false start. Apologies for that misdiagnosis of the flag. That was left over from the previous flag, which was the personal foul penalty. All right, first down and goal to go for the Royals from the 6-yard line. Already leading 14-0, just past the first half of the first quarter. Another flag down. And this is encroachment, actually, against the defense. So they'll march it back. They did signal an encroachment, but it is an offsides call on the Royals. So referee tonight, we mentioned his name beforehand. That is Brian Bednarczyk. You rarely see an encroachment signal against the offense, but that is what that was. So first and goal from the 11 is where we'll reset it. And Charlie Levac rolls out to his right, getting strung out, far side. Now he's going to run, tucks it, gets the corner toward the end zone, lunges, and touchdown CVCA. Charlie Levac is into the end zone, and the Royals are pouring it on Geneva here in the first quarter, 20-0. Levac looked like he wanted to pass this. He had Harris in the corner of the end zone, but couldn't get it to him. Got the corner, outran number 60 for Geneva. That was Connor Brenneman. He had no chance catching Charlie Levac, and he tiptoed it down the sidelines for another touchdown for CVCA. 20-0 Royals. McQuillan puts a boot into it again. He's 3 for 3. We mentioned he had a chance to set the single season record for points after touchdown. If he got 6 tonight, he's got 3 in the first quarter. The Royals have 3 scores. It's 21-0 CVCA with 4:16 to go in the first quarter. The cheerleaders singing the fight song. They're going to get their leg kicks in tonight here. 21 already in the first quarter, in the first 7 minutes and 44 seconds tonight for CVCA. For Charlie Levac, another touchdown rushing. That's his 7th rushing touchdown of the season for the Royals' senior quarterback. And everything going right for the Royals, everything going wrong for the Geneva Eagles here early. Luke McQuillan tees it up once again. And once again, the Eagles making sure the Royals don't send a little squib up the middle. The Royals pull back, and Geneva pulls back into their normal kickoff return formation. Both kickoffs have been returned or kicked to the up man, number 23, for Geneva. That's Gavin Queen. This one will go the other direction, and it's going to get to the back. It'll be bobbled there by number 12, Owen Davis. He gets it under control, but doesn't get much. Out across the 20-yard line, perhaps the 21, where the Eagles will have a long field to go, down 3 scores here early at Royal Stadium. The winner tonight will play the winner of the game up at Hawken, pitting the 3-seed Hawks against Akron East. We'll take a look at that game a little bit later. Get the out-of-town scores updated. Keep tabs on all that's happening in Region 9 of Division 3 tonight across Northeast Ohio. What's happening here at Royal Stadium is the Geneva Eagles are back out on offense, and they have their worst starting field position of the night. And they're down 3 scores. It's a handoff up the middle. Again, the quarterback is Nate Hutchins. I believe that was Proy once again, and it was. He'll pick up 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. So in the absence of Bryce Pete and Ricky DePetta, it's Caden Proy's show. They're going to try and get on the ball any way they can. So it's Hutchins with the wing T formation behind him. And not much going there once again. No gain, 3rd down. They'll give him a yard. 3rd and 6. It was Brody Ham who had that last carry for the Eagles. They've put it in the air 3 times already tonight. That's the entire average for a game throughout the course of the regular season and the first week of the playoffs. 2 of them have been caught by CVCA, both of them by Braden Harris. The other one was a short completion to one of the Eagles running backs for a 1st down here. Flags fly. And it's a delay of game against the Eagles. So they'll march off 5 yards against Geneva. And 3rd and long becomes 3rd and longer, 3rd down and 10.
Royal fans, it's 3rd down. Let's do it for your defense.
Eagles are under center. They'll run it on 3rd and long, and they will not get much. 4th down. The Eagles did not punt a week ago. Caden Proy only got a yard, maybe 2 on that one. It's 4th down and 8. They said they did not punt a week ago. Proy is the punter for this team, but they're going to go for it. Down 21-0 from their own 24-yard line. And now Proy backs up, and it looks like a pooch kick, and it will be. So they will not go for it, but the Royals do field it. They expected it, and they've got a return going here across the 40 and out of bounds about the 38-yard line. Check that, the 33-yard line for CVCA. Nick Schober, 18 yards on the return. The Royals are looking good in positive territory once again here. Already leading 21-0. So here comes the offense for the Royals. Big crowd on the home sideline. It's a good traveling crowd tonight from Geneva up on the lake here on the far side. They have not had a whole lot to cheer for tonight. Looking for the Eagles to try and step up and make a stop. Royals looking for more. Leadback will start out under center. It's Joey Kopech once again. Student body left, and Kopech ridden out of bounds, but not before he reaches the 20-yard line. A pickup of 14 yards. 1st down and 10 for the Royals at the start of the red zone once again.
That's good for another Royals 1st down.
Just good blocking for CVCA. Braden Harris out there on the lead block on the edge. Kopech fouled those blockers. He got 12 officially. They mark it on the 22-yard line. First and 10 for the Royals. Right side run. Another good effort right there, down inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Looked like it might have been Nick Schober. Check that, it was Wesley Keeler. Keeler number 6, Schober number 5. As you watch it right there, Keeler a hard runner. The senior. 582 yards rushing this season for Keeler. One of about 7 different Royals running backs who have over 200 yards rushing this season. This one's right up the middle. It'll be enough for a first down inside the 10-yard line. Still going, flags are flying, and we'll see what the call is and see if this play stands. Inside a minute to go first quarter. That was Zach Anderson. He had enough of the first down, but we'll wait to see what the call is. Referees have a little convention at about the 10-yard line. And now we have the referee coming to make the call. Sideline warning against CVCA. And that usually is a warning the first time. So they'll replay the down. Second down and 2. Wing T formation in the backfield behind Levac, and more flags fly. And they call encroachment on CVCA once again. And so we'll throw it up there as encroachment because that's the signal they're giving, but they're calling it on the offset, on the offense. So they push the ball back now to the 19-yard line where it's second down and 7. Aaron Neal is the line judge who's looking right down the line to make sure both teams are not lined up over the ball. He made that call, and they'll hand it to a running back left side run. Another flag is down. It was Reed Jones on the carry. Check that, it was Tommy Kopech, 24, his first carry of the night. But a holding call against CVCA. That's 3 straight flags against the Royals here on this drive. Things getting a little sloppy here with 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Royals had second and 2 and converted a first down, but 3 straight penalties. Going to push the ball back beyond the 20, almost to the 30-yard line. It'll be second down and 16 yards to go.
We'll do it again here, second half.
So the Eagles have not been able to stop the Royals so far tonight, but the Royals stopping themselves here late in the first quarter. Second and 16 for CVCA, 17 officially on the scoreboard. And they'll run it. Big hole up the middle. Tommy Kopech churning down to the 15-yard line. He's going to pick up 14 of those 17 yards. No flags that time. And we go to the end of the first quarter, a big first quarter for CVCA. 21-0 Royals, and they're driving for more here on CVCA Livestream after 1.
After the first, the Eagles 0 and your CVCA Royals 1-1.
As we've hit the first quarter break, we want to remind you, and many of you tuning in for the first time, that CVCA Livestream been on the air for half a decade and now a 6th football season in the books. 100% volunteer production.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans of the CVCA community,
Tonight marks the 165th broadcast produced by an all-volunteer team. What began during COVID has become a tradition, but it's not free. Video equipment, software expenses, audio upgrades cost about $5,000 per football season on average. Historically, the team has absorbed all these costs, the team being those that are doing the production tonight. But last year, we partnered with CVCA for the first time to allow you to give directly to help offset these expenses. Many of you have, but there's still opportunity for more. Gifts to support CVCA Livestream are tax deductible. Simply scan the QR code on your screen or visit the link and note CVCA Livestream in the comments when you make your donation. We thank you for watching. We see you watching tonight in record numbers, and thank you for supporting CVCA Livestream. We start the second quarter here from Royal Stadium. Tim Nichols along with you. The Royals leading 21-0.
We invite our entire CVCA community to support and encourage them as they begin their new roles and lead their teams in an exciting season ahead. Fans, please join us one more time with a warm round of applause here for our newest Royals.
Well, the Royals have 3rd down and 3 to start this second quarter. Run up the middle, another flag down. I don't think the Royals got it. It's an illegal shift against CVCA, so another flag against the Royals. We'll see if the Eagles take this one, and they will. So they'll push the Royals back. 3rd down again, but probably the 6th or 7th down in this series. Royals run it on 3rd and 8. After the first contact, they break through, and they are going to break into the end zone. Touchdown, CVCA. Zach Anderson on the score for the Royals, the 4th of the contest, and CVCA extends the lead to 27-0. It's a Royal onslaught here at Royal Stadium against Geneva, 27-0. The Royals offense, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. They've got a pick 6 to go along with it. And Luke McQuillan, for the 4th time tonight, kicks it through the uprights to extend the lead to 28-0 CVCA.
Luke McQuillan's kick is up and good. On the 20-yard touchdown run.
Here's the replay, 20 yards into the end zone. Zach Anderson was hit behind the line of scrimmage, broke a second tackle, and then just evaded Caden Proy, who looks like he may have made a business decision right there, had wanted no part of Zach Anderson, and Anderson snuck into the end zone. Another touchdown for CVCA for Zach Anderson. That's his 4th rushing touchdown to go along with 2 receiving, 6th of the year overall for the CVCA junior. And so 28-0. CVCA on top of this one. If you were head coach Don Shimsky, not sure what you tell your team right now. You're down your best player. Royals kicking off left to right for the first time. They pooch it once again, but it's going to go deep enough as the backs, that's Davis, number 12, ranged up on it and brings it out across the 30-yard line.
Davis on the return for Geneva. Tripped up by number 11, junior Will Perot.
Will Perot in there on the tackle for the Royals. Eagles will start out at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, down 28-0 though. Looking back at the Eagles season, we'll talk more about that after this first play. It's a handoff to Proy, across the 35-yard line to the 36. Short gain of 1. 2nd down and a short 9, we'll call it. Give him 2 overall, so 2nd and 8. So we mentioned the schedule this year. We talked about it in the pregame, but some big scores against some teams that were a little bit weaker than what the Eagles are facing tonight here at CVCA. Down 28-0. It's the biggest deficit of the season. Proy nowhere to go. Taken down by about half of the CVCA defense on the 35-yard line. He'll lose the 2 he gained on the last play. 3rd down and 10. So 3rd down and 9.5. We'll call it 10, round up. And so far tonight, the Eagles have had no answers. This CVCA defense, the best defense in school history by far, averaging only 8.1 points per game given up, and most of those by the JV in the second half. Tonight has been a continuation of the rest of the season. It's 3rd down and 10. Hutchins was going to roll out, but before he can do that, flags fly once again. And it's encroachment against defense this time. The same penalty, but the same team getting flagged for it. So 5 yards gets marked off against CVCA, and that'll help the Eagles a little bit. It'll be 3rd down and 4.5. So the Eagles were looking to throw with Hutchins on 3rd and almost 10. We'll see if they go back to their bread and butter and try and run it here. It's Proy in the backfield. Hutchins at the halfback spot. Proy puts it on the ground. He's just going to fall on it. The 11th time this season that Caden Proy has put the ball on the turf. And so that 3rd down play goes awry. It's marked down as a loss of 2 yards. It's like he knew it was coming. The defense was coming after him and took his eye off the ball as it got to him in the shotgun formation. So 4th down, 4th and 6. On the prior 4th down, the Eagles looked like they were going to go for it and then step back to punt. They're going to do the same thing right here. Proy with a pooch punt gets a nice kick off. It's going to roll toward the Royals' end zone. Will it get all the way or will they down it? Oh, just too far. 61 yards. It needed to be 60. The Royals will benefit from the touchback. CVCA will have a long field for the first time tonight, but it hasn't mattered long or short. The Royals will put every possession into the end zone so far. (28-0) CVCA. We said it a couple times. 280-30. That is the amount of points the Royals have scored versus what they've given up in first halves of games this season. Same thing tonight, 28-0 here, barely into the second quarter. And there's Kopech, the older, Joey, with an 8-yard gain out to the 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 2 for the Royals.
Joey Kopech on the carry for the Royals, run number 23 of Geneva, Gavin Queen.
Gavin Queen was in there on the tackle for Geneva. The Royals in command in this one, and assuming the score holds, there'll be another game here next Friday night. Left side handoff, 1st down, yardage. A big collision, the 37-yard line, perhaps the 38. Zach Anderson once again, and they'll move the sticks for the Royals. First and 10 for the Royals. And there's another big run, about 5 yards. October giving has gone by the wayside, but you can still give to CVCA. We put that up on the screen. Keeler gets 5. 2nd and 5 for the Royals. A good defensive stop that time by the Eagles, probably the best of the night. Not much there for CVCA. Tommy Kopech on the carry. No gain, 3rd down and 5. Braden Stark was in there for Geneva to make that stop initially. Said before that the Eagles' loss of DePetta and Bryce Pete, as much as it hurts on the offense, it hurts even more on the defensive side. The 2 leading tacklers for this Geneva Eagles team, both with 95 tackles apiece coming into the game tonight. Head of steam, but not much there. A big stop. It's 4th down. The Royals will have to make a decision here. And if you're thinking the Royals might punt, as Tommy Kopech got out to the 45-yard line, think again. CVCA, well, let's just say it this way. Geneva has blocked 3 punts this season. CVCA has punted 3 times this season. The Royals just simply have not had to punt at all for the most part. 3 punts, that is it, and they will go for it on 4th down here. 4th down and 2. So far this season, CVCA on 4th down, 13 of 19, 69%. And a whistle blows, and a timeout called by CVCA. So with this timeout on the field, it's our first opportunity tonight to talk about the Power Meal program for CVCA. And the Royals Power Meal program continues with Team 30, the local restaurant providing meals the day before the game. And this week the sponsor is Wing Warehouse in Cuyahoga Falls, just down the road from CVCA at 4165 Cuyahoga Lake Road. Wing Warehouse is a family sports bar and grill with great food and drinks and the best entertainment around. And we mentioned the wings. Well, a large selection of wing sauces. Your taste buds will be booming at Wing Warehouse. There's something for everyone. So stop on down this weekend to Wing Warehouse in Cuyahoga Falls. When you do, be sure to thank them for their support of Royals football and the Royals Power Meal program. It is 4th down for the Royals. Once again, the offense stays out 69%, 13 of 19 so far this season. They'll go for it on 4th and 2. Geneva trying to get off the field to dive up the middle, and the Eagles may have just done it. The Royals are short, and Geneva's going to take over the ball in positive territory. So the first good thing to happen for the Geneva Eagles tonight. It is Geneva's defense coming up big with a stop. Justin Schubert was in there first, the linebacker for the Eagles, to push the Royals back. And CVCA is turned away for the first time. John Powell, let's take a look at those stats if you've got them while we have a change in possession. We normally show the stats at the end of the quarter. We're going to show it midway through the 2nd quarter. And so far tonight, it has been all CVCA. 182 yards to 13, and that doesn't count the return yards by Braden Harris, who's got about 80 of those as well. Not much passing as we expected in this game. The Royals with a bunch of penalty yards, bogging down a couple of drives. 1st and 10, though, for the Eagles in a pitch play. It's going to be a pass. Proy wanted to throw it. The Royals have it covered, and now he's just got to run for his life. And Caden Proy is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Don Shimsky trying to dial up a trick play right there, but CVCA is not fooled. Dirk Geiger makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Proy in motion once again, and they'll just fall down. Turf monster on the tackle that time for CVCA. The ball carrier was Owen Davis, and suddenly, just like that, it's 3rd down and 11.
Owen Davis on the carry for the Eagles. Brought down by number 4 of the Royals, Mason Fry.
Mason Fry on the tackle for CVCA. Third and 11 for the Eagles. I believe the Eagles have just 1 first down so far in the night. Royals defense looking to make a play here on 3rd down and 11. Proy out of the shotgun. He's going to launch it downfield toward the sideline, and it is picked off again by CVCA. The 3rd interception of the night, and this time it's Zach Anderson that does the honors for the Royals. That was just a prayer by Proy. And Zach Anderson ranged under it, made the interception on the 6-yard line. So the Royals take the ball away. The 3rd turnover tonight for these Eagles. So 1st and 10 Royals as they take over inside their own 10-yard line after the interception by Anderson. The 3rd interception tonight of Caden Proy, who was only intercepted twice all season. Again, he only threw it 35 times. And on 1st down, the Royals offensive line with a big push forward.
Senior Joey Kopak on the carry for CVCA.
The Royals offensive line, a big reason why the Royals have been so successful this season, and here they are. Brady Martin, 2nd team All North Coast Conference. Eli Brown, honorable mention. Josiah Newmeyer and Ben Truax, 1st team All North Coast Conference, and James Jeffers is in there because Kautzman is out. Started 3 games. It's his 4th game so far starting this season, and they continue to do the heavy lifting tonight for CVCA. Here's a run off left side, and it's a big run for the Royals. This could be all the way. 1 man to beat for CVCA. Down the sideline goes the running back, cutting back 10, 5, and out of bounds. Zach Anderson can't finish, but he gets the Royals all the way inside the 10-yard line.
On the carry for the Royals, number 8 junior Zach
Anderson knocked out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 81 yards on the carry for the CVCA junior. And here it is again, kept out of the end zone by Dylan Burlingham. He was the only man who could stop him before Caden Proy caught up from behind. But the Royals have it 1st down and not quite goal. They'll say Anderson stepped out of bounds at the 11, so 76 yards officially on that play. 1st down and 10 from the 11-yard line for CVCA. Right side run down inside the 5-yard line and burrowing down to about the 3 is CVCA's Zach Anderson. Check that, it's Wesley Keeler this time. 6.
For CVCA, it's number 6, Wesley Keeler.
They'll put the ball down on the 5-yard line. So they'll give him 6. 2nd down and 4. The Royals can get a 1st down at the 1-yard line. 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in the 1st half. CVCA up 28-0 and looking for more here after the 76-yard run by Zach Anderson. Levac rolls to his left, throws toward the end zone, and that is tipped. Knocked down, a good play by the Eagles. Owen Davis. 3rd and 4. Mentioned Levac. 16 touchdown passes this season. 4 of every 10 balls that he's put in the air, that he's completed, that is, have gone for touchdowns. 16 of his 40 completed passes this season, touchdowns. Right now it's 3rd down. 3rd down and 4. Royals want to capitalize on that big run. Here's a run toward the end zone. Do they get there? They do. Touchdown, CVCA. It's Wesley Keeler for CVCA who gets the honors this time. A touchdown for the senior. And the Royals move into running clock territory, 34-0 with 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go. This extra point, if good, will tie Luke McQuillan with Bryce Keitlinger for most PATs all time in a single season. That Keitlinger season happened in 2020. That was previously the best all-time offensive output for the CVCA Royals. That 2020 team played 11 games in the 2020 COVID season. many more than most other teams. Many felt that the Royals missed an opportunity at a state championship in 2020. The bracket broke open for them as McQuillan boots it up through the uprights for the 5th point after touchdown of the evening, 35-0. Back in 2020, the Royals had a powerhouse offensive team. They beat the Perry program for the first time in 3 times, a program that this Geneva program is very familiar with. CVCA and Perry had 3 epic battles in the playoffs. In the 3rd one, the Royals finally put Perry behind them. But the next week at Lake Catholic, the Royals had the lead at halftime but saw it slip away, and Lake Catholic went on to get within 1 play of a state title in 2020, ultimately losing on a game-winning field goal as time expired in the state championship game. The Royals felt that should have been them, could have been them. But this CVCA Royals team has a goal in mind, and that goal is to be playing in Canton in December. Certainly that is a well down the road discussion. First things first, but they're taking care of business tonight here. 35-0 here late in the first half. And they will be playing here next week against either Hawken or Akron East with a chance to go to the regional final for the first time. So before you start talking state championships, you got to take care of business in the region. CVCA, the 2 seed, will have a chance. They finish off this game to play at home again next week. And then after the regional semifinal games, all games are at neutral sites. McQuillan kicks off. It's Davis from the 5-yard line. Davis breaks through. He's got a return, and Davis off to the races. He's being chased down. Can he make it? No. The Royals make the touchdown-saving tackle, and it's Dongino Bickley who makes the saving tackle. But Owen Davis inside the 10-yard line finally gives the visiting crowd something to cheer for. And here he is again, takes it from the 5-yard line. 91 yards on the return. They'll mark him down at the, not quite 91, 89. And they put the ball on the 10, so 90. First down and goal to a lot of motion. Ultimately a short run off the right side by Caden Proy. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go. The Eagles have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Proy picked up 3 yards on that play. Second down and goal from the 7. Senior. Joey Kopech came in with 3 tackles for loss this season. Add another one to the tally. It's third down and goal now from the 8-yard line. The Eagles have not been able to do much at all. They put 3 receivers in the formation. It's Hutchins in the backfield, and they're going to call timeout with 1:12 to go. Coach Shimsky wants to talk it over with his Eagles, trying to get something out of this first half that has been all CVCA. Remind you to stick around at halftime. We've got the traditional CVCA live stream halftime report coming up for you. We'll be joined at halftime by brand new CVCA girls basketball coach Brock Holmes. And we'll have the normal CVCA fare at halftime, including Royals at the next level, this day in Royals history, and a host of others. We'll also try and take a look at the out-of-town scores. So the third down play coming up after the timeout. We'll see what the Eagles dial up. Matt Pete, the offensive coordinator. Don Shimsky, the head coach, looking to try and get something out of this, which has been a tough half The ball is loose. Will it be a pass play or a fumble? The Royals have it, waiting for a signal, and it's an incomplete pass. That is the ruling, so it's 4th down and goal.
Ruling on the field is incomplete pass. Pass broken up by number 24 of the Royals, Tommy Kopech.
Tommy Kopech was in there to break up that pass.
Brings them 4th down to the Eagles. Royal fans, let's hear it from your defense.
Here comes the 4th down play. 4th down and goal. Proy will roll to his left, being chased. Now he's in trouble, and Proy's going to be taken down at the 16-yard line. The defense stands tall, and it's Joey Kopech once again. Turnover on down to the Royals. So you watch it again. This play had no chance. Caden Proy was being chased down by the Rutgers commit Joey Kopech, and it's Kopech with the celebration. And as the change happens here, we're going to let you know that CVCA would like to thank the good folks at Farinacci Pizza in Hudson for providing our pregame meal today. A local favorite since 1971. Dough made fresh daily, 100% real cheese, natural seasoning, and nothing frozen. Dedication to consistency comes from the roots of the Farinacci family heritage. As the Royals roll on a 1st down play, left side run, pick up of 5 yards. Be sure to seize the opportunity to share the tradition of Farinacci Pizza this weekend. 3 locations to serve you in Hudson, Brecksville, and Northfield. Visit Farinacci Pizza this weekend or check them out online at farinacci.com. Under a minute to go. Royals up 35-0. Levac will look to throw. Right side, or left side pass, out of bounds, completed to Braden Harris to the 40-yard line.
Number 13, senior Braden Harris. That's good for Royals. 1st down.
So CVCA trying to operate the 2-minute offense. They might need to use this later on in the playoff season. Getting their work in right now. First down and 10 for the Royals from the 38-yard line. Levac looks to throw, long pass, downfield, and just out of the outstretched arms, diving for that ball was Nick Schober. So 2nd down and 10 for CVCA. .24 ticks left on the clock. Long pass, the man open down there, and it's caught. Touchdown, Joey Kopech. It's caught. Touchdown, Joey Kopech. 62 yards. Levac to Kopech, and the Royals score again. As perfect as a first half as you could script for CVCA, 41-0 with 15 seconds to go. A perfect first half and a 2-minute drill executed to perfection. CVCA all over Geneva. This one for the single season record for Luke McQuillan. Ball down, snap up, and Luke McQuillan is the single season point after touchdown record holder. He's in the books at the top for CVCA, the kicker, with his 54th PAT of the year. And here comes the replay. Levac looking to his left, lofted downfield. That's the prior replay. We'll get the right one here for you. I promise you we'll have it at halftime if we don't have it now. 15 seconds to go, and here it is. Levac under some pressure, stepped up and just launched it. A perfect, beautiful spiral. And Joey Kopech looking a little bit like Willie Mays. Over the shoulder catch. And the Royals lead 42-0. What a first half. We've got highlights to show you at halftime. But stick around. Brock Holmes coming up. Get to talk to him about the CVCA girls basketball program. Get to look at the CVCA marching band. I don't see it. Actually, the Geneva band is here as well, so we'll try and get both marching bands on the screen for you as well. 15 seconds left in this one. All CVCA here in the first half. One more kickoff before we hit the halftime break. It's booted downfield and the clock rolls. And a shorter kickoff return that time for the Eagles. They'll have time to run one play.
Owen Davis on the return for the
Owen
Eagles.
Davis.
By number 21 of the Royals, senior Kyron Fikes.
And it was Kyron Fikes down there to make the tackle for the Royals. Ten seconds left in this one before we hit the halftime break. And what a half it's been for CVCA. Sound like a broken record saying that over and over. The 17th passing touchdown, and none more pretty than that one from Charlie Levac to Joey Kopech. A run up the middle will take us to the close of the first half. Brady Ham on the carry, clock winds out, and we go to halftime. CVCA leading this one 42-0. An absolute clinic being put on here in the first half by the Royals. Up big as they head to the locker room. It is halftime here at Royal Stadium. Welcome to the 330 halftime show. From Signs 330, we've got another outstanding halftime lineup for you this evening. Geneva and CVCA's marching bands, the out-of-town scoreboard, as well as our regular segments like Royals at the Next Level and This Day in Royals History. But first, let's pause now from a word from Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. The best way to understand the CVCA difference is to spend some time here with our community of students, families, faculty, and staff. We encourage you to plan a visit. The next and last family preview night of the year is Thursday, November 13th. That's next week from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. You can register online at cvcaroyals.org/visit. Note applications for the 2026-27 school year are available online now at cvcaroyals.org/apply. Right now, we're going to pause and give you an opportunity to tune into the CVCA Royals Marching Band.
Fans, our next song is straight off the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, and potentially one of the best love songs of all time. This hit, Blue Suede in 1974, continues to live rent-free in our minds because we are hooked.
You're watching the CVCA Royals Marching Band here at halftime at Royal Stadium. CVCA up 42-0 over their opponent tonight. Geneva, the Eagles, on the lopsided end of the 42-0 score. The Royals looking to advance in Division 3, Region 9. They are the North Coast Conference champions for this season. We'll take a look at the North Coast Conference standings. We'll get them up for you in just a second here. CVCA winning the North Coast Conference this season. And there it is. A perfect 5-0 in conference, 9-0 overall. CVCA, Lake Catholic, NDCL, Holy Name, Elyria Catholic, and Padua bringing up the rear in the North Coast Conference this year. The Region 9 bracket, as you can take a look at it here. CVCA up big tonight in their game against Geneva, Hawken, and Akron East. That'll be the opponent. The game that we're watching for an opponent next week. On the other side of the bracket, number 1 seed Canfield and Kenston and VASJ and Maple Heights also playing tonight. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here and see what some of those scores are up to. Our director, John Powell, trying to get those up, and here they are. So, no score, Akron East and Hawken in the first quarter. You haven't got a reported score from there yet. Canfield leading over Kenston, 14-6. No score reported in from Maple Heights and VASJ. Lake Catholic up 10-0 over Streetsboro. Perry, the number 1 seed in Region 13, that's Division 4, leading North Coast Conference member Holy Name, 13-6 at the half. Akron-Hoban leading Boardman, an opponent of CVCA earlier this year, 28-0 in Division 2, Region 5. Former CVCA conference opponents, Manchester and Triway, in action tonight. Girard, the 2 seed, leading Manchester 7-0 in the second quarter. Triway up big, 24-7. They are the 2 seed in Region 18, and they are leading big in the second quarter tonight. All right, CVCA athletic highlights. In the last week, the cross-country teams competed at the 2025 OHSAA Division II State Championship meet last Saturday. It went very well. Both teams secured a third-place overall finish. Boys team placed third. The finish is tied with the 2011 team for the best in program history. Girls team finished in a little bit further down in 20th place. It is the 18th time the girls have finished in the top 20 overall. Sophomore Logan Romanini led the way for the girls this year, earned all Ohio honors. On the boys' side, junior Isaac Solomon, sophomore Zach and Anda Basaris and junior Andrew Clark led the way, each earning All-Ohio honors as well. All the other fall sports for CVCA wrapped up before this week, with one big exception. The boys soccer team has had a great run the past 2 weeks, featuring an exciting run to the state semifinal. First, CVCA avenged a regular season tie and defeated North Coast Conference champion Padua with an overtime victory in the district final. Then came a thrilling win when senior Nick Myers sealed victory in the dying moments of the regional semifinal against Howland, taking a perfect pass off a free kick and beating the Howland goalkeeper with just seconds left in the game. That led to a nerve-wracking regional final last Sunday, which saw the Royals go up 2-1, only to have to withstand a furious comeback against Marlington, ultimately defeating the Dukes on Sunday in Ravenna, a win that sent CVCA to the state Final Four for the first time since 2014. Unfortunately, a chance to play in the state championship on Sunday night was not meant to be. 2 nights ago, the Royals season ended in sudden death overtime against Aurora. The Green Men were able to tap a loose ball in off the back post for the only goal of the game in the 86th minute, denying the Royals a chance to play for their 4th state championship and first since 2010. Still, it was an outstanding season as the Royals went unbeaten for more than 2 months from August 26th until Wednesday night. Congratulations to head coach Nick Thompson and the Royals for an amazing run. And with that, only football remains as the calendar turns to the winter sports season. You can see at the bottom of the screen, it's already started for the Royals hockey team, who skated twice last weekend in scrimmages and will skate again tomorrow at Canfield. Well, speaking of winter sports, I am pleased to be joined tonight here in the booth by CVCA's brand new girls basketball coach, Brock Holmes. Brock, welcome to CVCA Livestream. Welcome to CVCA.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on here.
You are welcome. And there we are up on screen. Brock, welcome to our palatial abode. Your first experience at CVCA, what do you think?
I love it. I've got to come up here a couple of times with coaching some AAU kids and coming and playing here and coaching here throughout the last couple of years. And then before I took the job, I actually got to go on a tour of the place. So I've seen around. And
I'm glad they gave you a tour, right?
Yeah. They didn't have to convince me much. They had to convince my wife a little bit because it's a little bit of a haul. But they did their job, and I'm loving and happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you. You got the Royal swag going, so you look great. So,
Absolutely.
So my question to you, I've got a few questions today to let the fans kind of get to know you a little bit better. But when and how did you know that you wanted to be a coach?
I think that starts really, really young for me. If you ask my parents or my wife, they've all pretty much known from a little age. Like I've always said, I wanted to be a dad and a coach. So that's just kind of something I've been working towards since I was really, really little. I've had a huge opportunity with my dad running an AAU club. I got to start coaching in that when I was 17 and just haven't looked back since.
Excellent. So that was my next question out on the page, but who has been your biggest influence in your young coaching career? Who do you look to? Sounds like maybe Dad.
Yeah, my dad's a big one, and then obviously I'm a huge Duke basketball fan, so Coach K gets a nod every once in a while. And then Tim Bradford over in, I think he's at, oh goodness, where is he at now? He was at Loudonville and Clear Fork. Yep. He's set somewhere new now.
So I will throw a little thing in here. So you now join Coach K as people that I've interviewed. So
hey, I'll take
you're both in the book.
I'll take it.
I was much younger when I interviewed Coach K down at Duke, but we'll talk about that offline. That was on an Athletes in Action tour. A long, long time ago, but he was a great guy to talk to. All right, so John Young told you in an email that he sent to both of us that you got an average three-point shot. So
something like that.
So I'm certain that had to be the selling point that got you the job here.
Yeah,
but in all seriousness, this is your second stop at a Christian school.
Mm-hmm.
Why Christian education for you, and why coaching at a Christian school? What is the draw for you?
It's just different. You know, you get to express yourself, and you truly get to grow Christ-like leaders, and to me that's truly special. You can't do that everywhere, and you can't help kids grow in the best way, which is in their faith, and just kind of help guide them and make them grow into responsible young adults.
That's awesome. So you started out 3 years at a small Christian school, Division 7 Central Christian School down in Wayne County. Kidron, is that right?
Kidron, Ohio.
All right, so and you turned around that program. They had just one win the year before you arrived. What was it about that program saying, I want to go start coaching, other than the fact it's a Christian school, you checked that box, but one win. What was it that said, hey, I want to start here?
Yeah, so they actually got me in the door with the teaching job, and then kind of hunted me down and were like, hey, you're going to take this girls job. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm really fit to coach girls basketball.
All right.
And then kind of kept twisting on me a little bit and got through to me, and it's one of the biggest blessings I've ever had in my life. The great group of girls who helped. I mean, it's my system and my thing, but they're the ones that went into action and did this stuff.
Right.
So shout out to them. But, I've been blessed with that, and Kidron was a great stop for me.
So talk about that. 3 years, you go from 1 win to first year, 8 wins or so, if I remember.
9
wins,
13.
9 and 13. Second year,
11-11.
so you get to 500. Third year,
15-7.
and if I did my research right, district coach of the year or something like that. So
Yeah.
they recognize the media and the other coaches recognize the great job you did turning around that program. It certainly helped to have a superstar that you were able to coach down there. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, her name's McLaren Fry, and I'll throw another one in there, Sarah Lynn Sternholm. They, when I took the program over, they were freshmen, so they were kind of...
They joined with you.
Yeah, they were brand new with me. They were the ones that helped instill a lot of the things, and we basically just revolved it around being a family and buying into our team values, which are my core values of effort, consistency, passion, and loyalty. So we break each of those down. That can be an off-camera discussion, but how that implements us in getting better each and every day, and that led to the success and just kind of playing for each other.
So you had a great run there. You bring that to CVCA.
Hopefully.
Well, hopefully. I think you will, right? You've got a system, so you're going to bring that, yes?
Yep.
Yeah, so talk about those 4 again.
Effort, passion, consistency, loyalty.
All right.
So the girls, if you go ask them, I'm hoping and praying that they know that. They should by now, but I'm hoping they can recite that back to you like by heart.
All right, so you got a big one. Your season's it's already underway in practice, and you got a scrimmage tomorrow?
Yep.
So down at Orville?
Yep, 4-team scrimmage counting us. So it's Barberton, Orville, Hillsdale. So it's going to be a really good one for a lot of our younger girls that necessarily didn't get a lot of varsity minutes or didn't get like lower-end JV minutes. Kind of gearing them up, ready to go, and kind of get ready for competition.
You're taking over a team in transition. It's a team that's had a heck of a run, but you just mentioned it's a team that's going to be younger this year.
Yep.
What do you hope to see from these young CVCA Royals girls basketball players this season?
I tell them each and every day, win, lose, draw. All I want to do is compete. All out, all in, effort, 100% of the time, and that's all I can ask for them.
And there you go. All right. So there's a lot that's new for you right now. New team.
Yep.
Right? New gig.
Yep.
You're going to be driving up here you're still teaching down there?
Yeah, I'm still teaching down there, yeah.
So you're going to have the late practice, I think.
Oh, yeah, we actually just had to work that out, yeah.
So new scrimmage tomorrow. If I did my research right, at least on social media, you've got another new announcement that you made last week.
Yeah, we're very blessed and fortunate. My wife is 23 weeks pregnant now. So
congratulations, that is awesome.
Thank you.
So you said you wanted to check the coaching box off. You're going to check the dad box off as well.
Oh yeah.
So toward the end of the basketball season.
March 4th, week of regionals. So we're hoping and praying. Just wait its time, let it run its race, and we'll get there eventually.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Brock Holmes, we are certainly glad that you are here at CVCA. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us here at CVCA Livestream up at the booth at halftime. We'll look forward to talking a lot more with you over the coming weeks and months and years to come. Brock Holmes, the brand new CVCA Royals girls basketball coach here at halftime of the Royals playoff game against Geneva. The Royals leading tonight 42-0 at the break. More to come in just a few moments.
Touchdown of the season, the Royals marching band.
So it's halftime here at Royal Stadium. You've just heard from Brock Holmes, the new CVCA girls basketball coach here at Royal Stadium. The Royals up 42-0. CVCA Royals marching band playing their postseason football match on the field right now at halftime. That gives us a chance to talk about Royals at the next level, and that is the college and professional ranks. And we always start with the Las Vegas Raiders, who lost a heartbreaker last week on a 2-point conversion in overtime against Jacksonville. And they lost another heartbreaker last night, 10-7. CVCA 2019 graduate Trey Tucker is with the Raiders. Trey had 2 catches for 28 yards last night on Thursday Night Football in that 3-point loss to the Broncos. Next up is a Monday Night Football appearance against the Dallas Cowboys on November 17th at home. At the college ranks of the Division II, III, and NAIA levels, Division III, number 2 Mount Union remains a perfect 8-0. After a pair of convincing wins against Ohio Northern and Capital the last 2 weeks, 2024 graduate Ricky Levac, the older brother of CVCA quarterback Charlie Levac, appeared in 8 games, all 8 games at defensive back, and had his second interception of the year last week against Capital. The Purple Raiders are back in action tomorrow against Marietta. Kickoff 1:30 p.m. at Karis Stadium. Speaking of the Pioneers, Marietta is now 4-4 on the season, defeating Wilmington 44-14 on the road last week. 2022 CVCA graduate Brandon Riley suiting up for the Pios again this year. Out in the CCIW out west, number 18 Wheaton moved to 6-2 on the season with a 65-0 shutout last week of Elmhurst. That followed a thrilling 28-24 win against previously once defeated Wash U. A win that kept the Thunder playoff hopes alive. And that's good news for 2021 CVCA graduate JT Nichols, who started all 6 games the Thunder have won this year, either at center or left guard. Wheaton racked up 567 yards of offense in the win against Elmhurst in tomorrow's Senior Day. So yours truly will be making the trip out to Wheaton as soon as this one is over to participate in the festivities tomorrow morning at McCulley Stadium, where the Thunder will host Milliken. Worcester Scots are back above 500 after a 49-6 win over Kenyon a week ago. 2022 graduate Jordan Lewis continues to have an outstanding senior season. He scored 2 more touchdowns last Sunday, 1 week after burning the John Carroll defense for an 80-yard score at receiver. J. Lou now has 34 receptions for 689 yards, 6 touchdown catches in 2025. Dylan Byers also has appeared in 3 games for the Scots this season in his first collegiate action, the former Royals lineman. Scots wrap up their season tomorrow at number 15, DePaul. 2025 alum David Grimes is suiting up for Worcester Polytech, but the Engineers sit at 2-6 after dropping their 3rd straight game last week to MIT. Yes, that MIT, 19-7. Grimes is another CVCA offensive lineman that has appeared in 6 of the 8 games for the Engineers this year, including 1 start in his first college football season. WPI is home tomorrow, on the road tomorrow at Merchant Marine at 12 noon. Finally, the Royals 2024 graduate Logan Scranton is playing at Indiana Wesleyan, an NAIA school where the Wildcats are now 7-2 after winning a shootout against arch rival Taylor University last weekend 56-48. Scranton's playing linebacker. He's appeared in 7 of 9 games this season, recording 4 tackles in the Taylor victory last weekend. Tomorrow the Wildcats are home against Lawrence Tech at noon. We continue at halftime, and we'll have this day in Royals history in just a moment. And now this day in Royals history. Tonight's game is being played on November the 7th. We had to dig deep into the archives to find a pair of games that CVCA has played on this date this late in the season. The Royals lost a regional quarterfinal Division IV playoff game to Girard, 42-7, as a 7th seed back in 2009. But tonight we're going to turn the clock all the way back to this day in Royals history, November 7th, 1998. It was just the 2nd year of varsity football for the young upstart CVCA program, which was a member of the East Suburban League at the time. The Royals entered the Week 10 game against Southington Chalker with a 4-4 record, but a perfect 4-0 record in the ESL. The Wildcats were also 4-0 in conference, so it was a championship game played on a Saturday afternoon at noon here at a much different looking Royals Stadium, as you see on the screen. The pitch was natural grass. The scoreboard was run off a raised scaffolding on the visitor side of the field. But one thing was the same. The guy patrolling the sideline for CVCA was Ray Caroscia, the same man who is still serving as the CVCA offensive coordinator to this day. Chalker struck first when John Teets scored in a 27-yard run with 3:41 left in the first quarter. A successful 2-point conversion put the Royals in an 8-0 hole early. But Teddy Harris had an answer for CVCA. Harris, who later became a teammate of current CVCA quarterback coach Paul McClevich at Malone College, broke loose just before the close of the first quarter for the Royals' first touchdown of the day, and a 2-point conversion from senior Greg Ford on a pass to Corey Hoffman tied things up at 8 after 1 quarter. That's the way it stayed until the final minute of the half, when Harris ripped off a 90-yard touchdown run to give CVCA the lead, just 33 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Harris had 141 yards on the ground to lead the Royals that day, but the work was far from done. The Royals were kept off the scoreboard in the second half, but Ford made sure the lead would stand. The Royals quarterback also played defense, and he intercepted the Chalker quarterback 3 times on the afternoon. It's a single-game record that stands to this day, some 27 years later, but after the first half tonight, Braden Harris may have something to say about it. Today, Greg Ford and his wife Shaylin are lead pastors and founders of one church in Columbus, Ohio. But 27 years ago today, it was Ford and Harris who led CVCA to its first ever conference championship with a 15-8 win over the Chalker Wildcats from Southington on this day in Royals history, November 7th, 1998. We're in halftime, and they put 2.5 minutes up on the clock before we get started with the second half. That gives us just enough time to look at a whole host of highlights from half number one. Roll 'em. The night got started early, and on the second play of the night, Joey Kopech went 61 yards for this touchdown run to put the Royals up 7-0, and the route was on, as it were. Kopech into the end zone. The first Geneva Eagle to touch him was Caden Troy at the 1-yard line, but he was not able to stop Kopech. Braden Harris on the third play of the night for Geneva intercepted this pass and returned it 49 yards for the Royals' first pick six of the season. Harris's fifth interception of the season. He leads the Royals defense in that regard. Here's another pass play and another Harris interception and another big return for the senior defensive back for CVCA. Harris named all conference this week and showing why as he returned that one down to the 30-yard line. That set up another CVCA touchdown. Levac wanted to find Harris, but instead outran the lineman and tiptoed down the sideline for another CVCA score. 14-0 Royals early. On the next possession, Zach Anderson up the middle, and Anderson into the end zone for his first touchdown of the night. 21-0 CVCA. Croy continued to try and loft it downfield, but was intercepted for the third time, and it's Zach Anderson again, this time on defense with the interception. Set up a long field for CVCA, but then flipped the field himself. 90 yards on this run. If not for Dylan Burlingham, Anderson might have taken it to the house. Instead, out of bounds at the 11-yard line, and the Royals finished off the drive with another touchdown here, making it 28-0. Wesley Keeler on that score. Geneva thought they had something going here with a return after the next kickoff. 90 yards for number 12, Owen Davis. It was the best and biggest play of the half for the Geneva Eagles. Unfortunately for them, they could not punch it into the end zone. The Royals defense held, and Charlie Levac, right before halftime, launched this 61-yard touchdown pass to Joey Kopech to put the Royals up 42-0, and that's where we stand here at halftime. As the clock winds out, we're getting ready for second half action here from Royal Stadium. It'll be a running clock in the second half, so CVCA up 42-0, and we'll try and get an updated score, as we had no score reported from Hawken and Akron East. One of those two teams will be the Royals' opponent next week.
They didn't this year. I checked the schedule. Yeah. March over and have an official march. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
We're getting ready for second half action here from Royals Stadium. The Royals will kick off to start this second half. They've done a lot of kicking off tonight, has CVCA. And they will do so once again. The whistles blow, easy for me to say. And Luke McQuillan ready to put it in the air for the Royals once again. Another pooch for the Royals. This one's going to bounce, it'll bounce out of bounds. So a flag will fly on the illegal kick out of bounds. And the Eagles will get good field position. Head coach Don Shimsky sends his team out. As the ball we spotted on the 35-yard line. First down and 10 for Geneva. Many of these Geneva Eagles seniors, including Caden Proy, the quarterback, will be playing their final game tonight. The first play of the second half starts just like the first half. A tackle for loss for the CVCA defense. Hutchins kept it, starting as the quarterback here in the second half. They faked it to Proy, who went in motion. He got nowhere. As you watch the replay right here. Mason Fry in there from his nose tackle spot, making the tackle for the Royals. Once again, with a 42-0 lead here in the second half, it is a running clock. All CVCA here tonight. Second and 11. Proy gets across the 35 to the 37. He'll pick up 3 yards. Third down and 8. The third down run, big hit by the Royals on Owen Davis. He picked up about 5, but he's going to be shy of the first down by about 3 yards. Fourth down and 3. They keep the offense on the field, and Geneva will try and move the sticks here. Down 42-0. Proy in motion. Now they'll reset. Play clock down under 10. Proy moves toward the backfield. It looks like they're maybe trying to get the Royals to jump down to 3 seconds. And now movement all over the place. Flags will fly. This will be a false start against the Eagles. They'll march off 5 yards. So fourth down and 8 now for the Eagles, and Proy will jump back and punt once again. Nobody back to receive for CVCA. The ball will just roll dead inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. The Royals will take over first down and 10, their first series of the second half.
First and 10 for the Royals.
CVCA leading 42-0. And we'll see what the Royals dial up here. And who they dial up. JV season is officially over, but we expect we may see some of the JV guys as this game gets later and later. The change of possession happens at the just shy of the 8-minute mark. Now the Royals take the field first down and 10 from their 19-yard line. And it's Jackson Cruz at quarterback for CVCA. And so Charlie Levak's night may be done for the Royals. First run of the second half for the CVCA Royals will pick up about 5 yards. And it's number 11, Will Perot on the carry. So up 42-0, the Royals have seen enough of the starters tonight. They'll rest up for a game next week against either Hawken or Akron East here at Royal Stadium. It's a JV game here in the second half. Cruz under center. Royals line still pushing forward. Short gain. It'll be 3rd and short.
Dominic Palmisano on the tackle for Geneva. Again on the carry for the Royals, number 11.
It was Will Perot again. We've got an update from Hawken. At halftime, the score is Akron East 22. The 3rd seeded Hawken Hawks just 7. So Akron East shutting down the high-powered Hawken aerial attack 22-7. We'll see if the Hawks can come up with something in the second half. Otherwise, their season will be over. Caden Proy on the stop there for Geneva. And
Will Perot on the carry for CVCA.
Whistles blow. There is a flag down, it looks like. Perhaps there was a preliminary signal against the Royals. This looks like it may be a hold. It was a 3rd down stop, so there is a decision. Holding against CVCA. And that penalty looks like it'll be declined. So 4th down. So the 11th seed, Akron East, in the Akron City Series, up on Hawken, trying to book a trip here to CVCA next week. And the Royals are going to make their 4th punt of the year. And it's a short punt, and it'll bounce and take a Royals bounce inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Jackson Cruz gets his first punt of his high school career. So that is a momentous occasion. Just the 4th time this year the CVCA has punted the ball. Clock continues to run in a very quick-moving 3rd quarter. So the Eagles come out for their 2nd series. They went 3 and out in the 1st series. Already down to 4.5, under 4.5, 4:25 with the clock running. Proy, long throw, going deep. This time it is caught. And finally a connection for Proy on the reception for Geneva, number 3. But we have a flag down. They're going to call actually an out-of-bounds play. So that was Elliot Salgado. He's been targeted just 4 times this season, 0 catches. For the wideout, just a toe away from a first big play of the year for Elliot Salgado, a senior. So some of the seniors for this Geneva team, Proy, Dylan Burlingham, Salgado. We mentioned Bryce Pete at the top, and they are certainly missing him. Ricky DePetta. They've won a lot of games these last 4 years. It's not going to end well. It never does, except for one team. But they have left their mark and their imprint on this Geneva program. Dominic Palmisano, the tight end. On the offensive line, Chase Cinco, Connor Brenneman, Logan Evangelista, all of them will take off the uniform for the last time tonight. And that is a tough night whenever it comes for every team. A lot of pride in these Eagles, and they move the sticks for a 1st down right there. Proy with the 1st down. A Herculean performance last week. 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, 66, 67, and 47-yard scores for Caden Proy a week ago against the Lions. Different story tonight. Sweep to the left side and about 3 or 4 yards. Owen Davis on the carry for
Number 21, Kyron Fikes, and number 67,
the Eagles.
Jonathan Gary.
Second down and 7. Final 2 minutes of a very quick-moving third quarter. Another pickup of 3. Brody Ham.
Brody Ham on the carry for the Eagles. Brought down number 50 of the Royals, Asa Boyd.
So third down again. Eagles trying to come up with a drive. Trying to erase the 0 and put some points on the board here in the second half. Shotgun formation. A keeper to the left side. Proy is going to get the corner. Falls out of bounds. It's going to be shy of the first down. 1 minute and counting. Kyron Fikes in there on the tackle. Fourth down and short. Yard and a half, perhaps. They need to get to the 34-yard line, a full 2 yards. Fourth down and 2. Time perhaps for one more play here in the third quarter. Once again, make sure you are subscribing to CVCA Livestream's social media channels on Facebook, X, and Instagram at CVCA Livestream. We get ready for the fourth down play, and Proy looks like he's going to throw it toward the end zone. He's got a man out there, but it is short. On fourth down and 2, the Eagles dial up a long pass looking for Salgado. A curious call against the CVCA reserves, most of them, when they want to keep the drive going, to just throw a long pass up there and turn the ball over on downs. And the clock runs out. That's going to do it for the third quarter. A very quick third quarter at that. No scores, 3 possessions. And we head to the fourth quarter, 42-0. Once again, we want to remind you that you can support CVCA Livestream by going to the CVCA website or clicking the QR code that we'll put up on the screen in just a moment. 100% volunteer staffing, professional production. We do it the best we can here. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage tonight. CVCARoyals.org/give-now. We ask that you reference CVCA Livestream in the comments section. We do not take a dime. Everything that you give is 100% tax deductible. It's a donation to Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. It is used to offset the hardware costs and the streaming costs for what we do here. But the staff here has not taken a dime and doesn't plan to. We do it because it's a passion of ours, and we hope you're enjoying the coverage. We would appreciate your support. We appreciate you for watching here. And we see the numbers tonight, record numbers. It might be our largest broadcast to date in terms of audience. Thank you for supporting CVCA Livestream. We start the fourth quarter, and we'll take a look at the stats through 3 quarters after the first play here, as the Royals offense comes back out on the field. Under center, Jackson Cruz. Pitch to the near side. Royals trying to get the corner, and they will. The Royals running back is ushered out of bounds.
Dominic Palmisano on the tackle for the Eagles. So the carry for the Royals, number 14, David Woodruff.
David Woodruff gets a carry for CVCA. The Royals deep into the bench. All right, we'll take a look at those stats through 3 quarters now and 1 play. Total domination for the Royals tonight, 341 yards to 47, 279 to 42 rushing, 62 big passing yards to Joey Kopech, 3 turnovers, all interceptions for Caden Proy, and the penalty yards slightly favoring Geneva. That's the only stat that's favoring Geneva tonight. Second down and 5 for CVCA. Nothing going there. No gain, and the Royals running back pushed back. Forward progress to the 40-yard line. It's a loss of 1. Will Perot on the carry that time. We mentioned the Royals going deep into the roster and depth here in the third and fourth quarter. Will Perot on that last carry. This carry up the middle, churning toward the first down, and he's going to get it. They'll move the sticks after this one. The rugby scrum out to the 47-yard line. First down, Royals.
On the carry for the Royals, number 11.
Perot had 19 carries coming into the into the postseason. 123 yards on the season in mop-up duty. Will had a pretty significant injury at the start of the 2024 season, missed a lot of time. He's come back this year and had a fairly good season for him. The junior. The Royals up big in a lot of games. He's gotten a lot of time here in third and fourth quarter action this season. He's going to get it again, running hard, near side, out of bounds. And a forearm shiver. That wasn't Perot, that was number 23, it looks like, for CVCA. Bradley Skolnekovic.
Number 23, Bradley Skolnekovic on the carry for the Royals. Kate Roy on the tackle for Geneva.
Skolnekovic on that carry. He's a really good lacrosse player. Playing some football here for the Royals as well. Skolnekovic with the long pole on the lacrosse field. Made an impression last year in his freshman year. A sophomore this year. Looking forward to seeing more of what he could do in the spring when lacrosse season rolls out around again. But right now, getting a chance to carry the ball a little bit for the Royals. Third down for CVCA. Third and a long 5 from the 49-yard line of the Eagles. 8 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. Right side handoff, and it'll be short of the first down. Once again, we said before, follow us on social media, X, Instagram, and Facebook at CVCA Livestream. And before you go tonight, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will have next week's game as well here from Royal Stadium. CVCA in either Akron East or Hawken. It was East up by 2 scores at halftime in that game up in Chesterland at Hawkins Upper School campus. Fourth down for the Royals from the 48-yard line. They keep the offense on the field, and they're going to turn it over on downs. A stop for Geneva, and that's going to give us a chance to talk about our friends at Shade Tree Solar, as we have a change of possession here. Shade Tree Solar. Harness the power of energy from the sun. Homeowners are struggling with the cost of living rising. Utility companies are charging for a small fortune every month, and it's only going to go up. That's where solar power comes in. Solar offers you a stable monthly cost that will never go up in price, even with inflation. It means you'll no longer be at the mercy of the power company. Take advantage of the 30% tax credit, which expires at the end of the year. Build equity and lower your monthly bills. Choose Shade Tree Solar, an expert team with personalized support. Check them out online or call 440-261-2322 or email them at luke@shadetreesolar.net. First play of the drive for Geneva, and it's a 11-yard gain for the Eagles into Royals territory across the 40 to the 39-yard line. You get the full replay here. Owen Davis on the carry, David Woodruff on the tackle for CVCA. Fourth quarter moving along past the midway mark with the running clock in play here. CVCA 42, Geneva nothing. But Geneva might have something here to the end zone, and the Eagles are on the board. Touchdown, Geneva. Caden Proy, one more for the record books. The 28th touchdown rushing of the year for the Geneva senior. And Caden Proy salvages something from his final game. What a career it has been for Caden Proy at Geneva. We talked about him at the start of the game. As the extra point is up and through. It's good. 42-7 now, CVCA leading. Here's the replay. Proy racing to the end zone. Once again, his 28th touchdown of the season. And Caden Proy gets him on the board. Here's the slide we put together for him. 121 carries coming into the season, or into the game tonight on the season. 1,365 yards, now 28 touchdowns. The passing game not helped much tonight with those 3 interceptions, but certainly an outstanding senior season and an outstanding career for Caden Proy of Geneva. So the Eagles will kick off. They've broken through 42-7. And so finally a kickoff for Zachary McKinney, who kicked off at the start of the game. It's been a long wait. McKinney tees it up on the 40-yard line. This one is booted deep, and it'll be a touchback. And so the Royals will have first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Out of the back of the end zone, 1st and 10 for the Royals at the 20.
Clock continues to run here, and the change of possession down to 4:20 to go. We'll have highlights after the game, and we'll have field level coverage of the game after we are done here in about 4.5 minutes.
For more information on the UH Krasinski Sports Medicine Institute, visit uhsports.org.
Royals drive starts out from their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 CVCA. Final 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Jackson Cruz under center. Again, the Royals keeping it pretty vanilla here in the second half. Handoff up the middle for a couple of yards.
Evan Winslow on the carry for CVCA. Brought down by number 14.
2nd down and 7 coming up for the Royals. The 2nd down play is a tackle for loss. And 3rd down as the clock winds under 3 minutes.
Chase Cinco on the tackle for the Eagles. Number 25, senior Evan Wenzel on the carry for CVCA.
Here comes a 3rd down and 11 play for CVCA. Up the middle it goes. Not very far. We'll wind out at 2:21. Once again after the game tonight, some coverage from down on the field. Some final game highlights. We'll get you ready for next week's game here at Royal Stadium. Once again on CVCA live stream. Shout out to our team tonight. John Powell directing. Gabe Laurie on replay. Steve Bader on the camera. Cody Anderson back in the house, moonlighting with us tonight. He's made it to the big leagues at Akron. As the CVCA punt goes down to the 41-yard line. Second punt of the night. First time in a season, or in the season, the Royals have punted twice in one night. But CVCA's first string offense and defense just put on a clinic tonight in the first half. For the 9th time in 10 games this year, a running clock in place here for the Royals as we wind down to the final minute. The final minute of play for these Boardman, the Geneva seniors. I got Boardman on the mind, looking at Boardman's score. We'll have some out-of-town scores coming up for you right after the game is done. And they wind the clock under a minute. And they've seen enough. Geneva throwing in the towel. Victory formation, last snap of the game. And the Royals are going to win tonight. They win big. CVCA 42-7 as the clock will wind out. This one has gone the distance. A very quick second half behind an absolutely outstanding first half. CVCA 42-0 at the halftime. At the half, winning 42-7. A huge victory tonight for the Royals. The Eagle season ends at 9-3. A solid campaign for Don Shimsky and the Geneva Eagles program. Nothing to hang their hats on. They just ran into a buzzsaw tonight with the Royals. The Royals record their 10th win of the season for the second year in a row and the second time in school history. Well, we'll take a look at some of those out-of-town scores before we finish up here tonight. And here they come as the teams gather at the center of the field together. And it looks like it's going to be Akron East who will be here next week, barring a significant comeback from Hawken. A second straight upset for East. And the Akron City Series champions will have a date destined to come here at Royal Stadium next week to play CVCA. If they hold on, they're ahead 30-10. Canfield serving notice that they're a 1 seed to be reckoned with, defeating Kenston, or winning 26-6 in the fourth quarter. Halftime score, VASJ might have something to say about Division III, Region 9 as well. Absolutely boat racing Maple Heights, 61-18 at the half. North Coast Conference scores, Lake Catholic leading Streetsboro 10-0 in the third quarter. Holy Name trailing Perry, but respectively 20-6 rather in the fourth quarter. Holman victorious tonight against Boardman. The Boardman season ends 38-0, and that's why I had Boardman on the mind earlier. Girard over Manchester in the third quarter, 14-7. That game still very much in doubt. Triway is going to win tonight. Their old pack foes. The only two pack teams remaining, 32-7 over Fairview. Triway up top tonight. Here it's 42-7, the final score. We'll take a look at some of the final statistics in this one. Bring those up in just a moment as the Royals head over toward the end zone for what is a new tradition, the alma mater being played by the marching band. Nick Cook applauding his team. Final stats on tonight's game. Unofficially, CVCA 353 yards, most of those in the first half, 97 with a couple of drives at the end. 291 yards rushing. It could have been many more. 62 yards passing. And there's the brick tonight. Brick by brick, the Royals building this season. And they'll put the Geneva name on that one as they build the postseason side. 3 turnovers for the Eagles, and they were costly. The Royals win 42-7. Head coach Nick Cook's got his team gathered. Hard Street has been the slogan this year for CVCA. They're building the street each brick by brick. Now 10 bricks, 10 wins for the Royals so far this season. Once again, we'll have a game here next week back on CVCA live stream, so we'll put the promotion up for that in a few moments. Right now, you continue to look in on head coach Nick Cook. He's got his Royals into the regional semifinal for the second year in a row and the third time in school history. They'll play in week 13, looking to finally get past the regional semifinal. The 2019 team played a regional semifinal up in Bedford against Perry on one of the coldest nights, perhaps the coldest night that CVC has ever played a football game, in November of 2019. I think the game time temperature was about 28 degrees. Huge snow piles on the sidelines. That did not go as they wanted. They avenged that loss the next year in 2020. Last year, CVCA fought valiantly, as you see the team in their post-game prayer, in the regional semifinal before coming up shy against University School, rather against Gilmore Academy. This year, they'll have a chance to make it past the regional final, likely against Akron East. Royals singing the fight song on the field. We'll be back with you next week for that regional semifinal. CVCA likely against Akron East with a 2-score lead late in that game up at Hawken. We'll be on the air again at 6:40 next week. Kickoff at 7 o'clock, but right now we're going to bring it down to field level for the Royals' alma mater. Again, the tradition established this year. And here it is. Recognize that tune? It's the doxology, putting a exclamation point and pointing upward.
I think this is my friend's water. So
toward what this is all about at CVCA, educating and cultivating servants of Christ here with the students at Royal Stadium and the football team. After a big win, kind of bringing it home to what it's really all about here at Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. So the Royals winning big tonight. We've got a host of highlights to show you. Many of them still from the first half. We're going to run them right here. Here we go. It started early for CVCA's second play of the game. Joey Kopech broke through. Good downfield blocking. He was not touched until he got to the 1-yard line. Caden Proy right there trying to take him down. Could not before he got to the end zone. 7-0 CVCA, just 53 seconds in. Third play of the night, tipped and intercepted by Braden Harris. He got going the right direction. It did not stop till he got to the end zone. A pick six, the first interception return for a touchdown for CVCA this year. 14-0, just 2.5 minutes into the contest. It continued. Proy, not known for his passing prowess, picked off by Harris again, and he returned this from the 21-yard line all the way down to the 30. 49 yards on the return on that one. Just like the first one, a pair of 49-yard returns. Charlie Levac rolled out looking for Harris, decided to keep it himself, up the sideline and scored his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. Zach Anderson, 20 yards into the end zone for the CVCA junior for another CVCA score. Roy kept throwing it downfield. It kept getting picked off. Here's Anderson again, making a defensive highlight. Second interception of the season for him. On the very next play, Anderson goes 90 yards. And if it weren't for number 2, Dylan Burlingham, the senior for Geneva, to slow him up, he might have gone to the end zone. But they gave it to him anyway. And actually, this was Wesley Keeler getting into the end zone for CVCA, finishing off that drive. And just before the half, in the 2-minute offense, the pass from Charlie Levac to Joey Kopech, 62 yards into the end zone. That ties Levac with Michael Bevington all-time in passing touchdowns for CVCA with 35. I'll have a chance to break that record next week. Caden Proy with his final touchdown of the season, his 28th of the year, to close out the scoring for the senior from Geneva. And there the final score, 42-7. Well, again, we appreciate you all for watching tonight. It was a big crowd. Come on back next week. Make sure you're following us on social media once again. Our social media handle is at CVCA Livestream. You can find us on X, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And before you step away from YouTube tonight, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are oh so close to 1,000 subscribers. We'd love to go over that mark this week. And once again, we want to let you know this night's game was brought to you through the volunteer efforts of Director John Powell. Steve Bader manned the camera for us tonight. Cody Anderson was beside me on stats, and Gabe Laurie was in the house to run replay for us tonight. A powerhouse team, as always, thanks to our CVCA athletic staff, Senior Athletic Director Dr. John Young, Associate Athletic Director Jason Erplay, Sports Information Director Ben Miller, as well as Tracy Eck and Amber Martin. Thank you to Brock Holmes, who was our halftime guest tonight. The final score in the OHSAA Regional Quarterfinal from Royal Stadium, the second seed CVCA Royals 42, the Geneva Eagles 7. My name is Tim Nichols. We thank you for watching. For now, so long. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week, same time. Royals playing for a chance to go to the regional final here at home at Royal Stadium. So long. Good night, everybody.